Hey, what's good, Grateful family? Got my cousin Papa Dennis in the studio today, so all that we talk, it will be relevant today because it's not just myself. My cousin is here. Shout out to my cousin, man. Make sure y'all go check him out. Host of Just Unconventional Podcast. This is the Grateful Gab Podcast, the Grateful Gab Sports Huddle specifically. I'm Grateful Dave. Grateful Dave again. It's my cousin Papa Dennis. Welcome in. Let's get into it. Got the daily verse. Thank you to my sponsorship, Kane Sweet Shot, for sponsoring this video. Let's get into it. Again, daily verse and then the sports huddle rundown. Daily verse for the day of December 27, 2025. Derives from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verses 4 and 5. And it states as follows. Whenever you make a vow to God, do not delay to pay it, for he finds no pleasure in the stupid ones. What you vow, pay. Better for you not to vow than to vow and not pay. Amen. And again,
Amen.
on Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 4 and 5. So as we get into the sports huddle rundown this morning, ladies and gentlemen, sports huddle rundown is as follows. We got some ringside coverage kicking off the show. Thursday football recap. We got the NFL Week 17 preview. NFL Top 10 brought to you by Papa Dennis and Just Unconventional. We got the quarterfinal. We got the college football playoff quarterfinals coming up this week, so we'll look ahead. We'll get a look ahead to those matchups kicking off on Wednesday and Thursday. NBA season, NCAA men's and women's top 25, and the National Hockey League. So again, got ringside coverage earlier this morning with Papa Dennis and Just Unconventional, and let's see what he's talking about.
Oh man, ain't much going on this week, my people out here. But we do have an AEW pay-per-view going on today, so if you plan on watching that, make sure you get a nap in. Probably not gonna go off till about 12, 1 o'clock. It's a final pay-per-view of the year, and we already know how Tony Khan like to do his things. Also, hats off to AEW for getting what they won by Sports Illustrated Promoter of the Year, some stuff like that, Promotion of the Year. Congratulations to them for that. I mean, personally, they kind of got the formula, kind of how the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega had the Meltzer formula to constantly get 5-star matches when they was in New Japan. They kind of have the formula to get all of these awards for the wrestling masters because it's instant gratification game. And like I said, we need companies like AEW. We need companies like WWE. We need one company that's going to give you everything you want without really stepping out of daring to really be different because it really ain't different now. We've seen this for years, and plus I was watching their style years before AEW came out. And then you need companies like WWE that's willing to piss you off. Like we need that's willing to piss you off to try to create a moment, even if it's stupid. They're willing for you to say it's stupid, you know. So just to go ahead and get on to the point, AEW World Ends is happening today. If I'm correct, yep, today is the 27th. Today, this is going on. They always like to say Chicago, but they're in Hoffman Estate, Illinois. But we're going to play the game today since it's the end of the year and say that they're in Chicago. Pay-per-view is going to start at 8 o'clock. Watch however you want to watch, or you can hop on HBO Max and they'll give you, I believe, $10 off the pay-per-view, or you can just pay the regular pay-per-view price. I believe it's like $50. And of course, they have a loaded card as follow. Oh man, I'm still mad about this match. I don't know why this is happening. Anyways, on the 0 hour, we have Sisters of Sin versus Hyan and Maya World. I haven't seen them. I might have to go check them out. Then on the main card, we got Gabe Kidd versus Darby Allin. There's no way that Darby Allin should win this match, bro. Gabe Kidd's like one of my top 5 because you're talking about like right now. He's one of my top 5 right now. He's representative of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Even though I know it's all inevitable, he's going to go to AEW eventually, and I'll probably watch more when he gets there. I like his style. Let's see here. We got a Chicago street fight for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We have FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang. This is a weird name for a match, cuzzo. Yeah, I know. I caught you off guard with the Bang Bang Gang. They're actually called that. They're called the Bang Bang Gang. Yep. Yeah, Juice Robinson. I can't remember the name. This is one of Billy Gunn's kids. I can't remember his name right now, so I'm sorry about that. But then, this is a stupid name for a match, but they have something called a Mixed Nuts Mayhem match.
Like
Yeah.
trail mix type of mixed nuts? Like
No, but that probably would have been better. That feels like an AEW style. Instead of putting thumbtacks in the ring, we could pour down some trail mix and slam you on that. That sounds like something that they could do. But no, it's really just it's a mixed tag team match.
Oh,
There's men and women involved, but they wanted to call it a mixed
oh,
nuts mayhem.
got you. Okay, all righty. No problem.
Yeah, so it's the Death Riders, Marina Shafir, Dan Garcia, Willa Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli versus Timeless Tony Storm, and the Conglomeration, Mark Briscoe, Roger Strong, and Orange Cassidy. We have the Continental Classic Finals, which I'm very excited about this. I really wanted this match to happen in New Japan, but for bigger stakes. I'm okay with this happening over here. We're going to finally get Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita in the semifinals of the Continental Classic. They have been butting heads, and this is probably one of the only stories I have been following in AEW, because I'm being completely honest with you, only because I anticipate this match. This is a lot riding on this for Kazuchika Okada. You are known as the best wrestler of the past decade, maybe two, to come out of Japan, besides Hiroshi Tanahashi and a couple other names. But for New Japan purposes, you were like cream of the crop. And now you got Konosuke Takeshita. He over here holding the belt that used to resonate with you, and now he's trying to make his name for it. And now he's also looking to be, the best wrestler coming out of Japan. Same way another guy, what was his name? Kaito Kiyomiya? Can't remember. I think I butchered his name. But he's over in Pro Wrestling. No, I'm actually going to go and get his name. But he tried it with Okada too, and he failed in that attempt.
He
But
probably ain't butcher it, y'all. He be Japanese style. He know all the Japan wrestlers.
man, look here, dog. I just use word pronunciation by Google. Type in that name and tell me how I say it, and I listen to English commentary. Which honestly, me knowing all these names just shows how English commentary is important for the English speaking fan, so they could keep up and follow along. Because wrestling fans, we really don't like to butcher names unless you're just an a-hole and you're trolling on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. But Okada versus Takeshita in the semifinals for the Continental Classic. Then we also get Kyle Fletcher versus John Moxley. John Moxley done made him a comeback to make it into the semifinals, while Kyle Fletcher is just out here making a name for himself as one of the best under 30. I believe he's still under 30.
It's
And
the tournament, right?
yeah, this is the tournament. This is the semifinals.
Okay.
So at this pay-per-view, they're going to have the semifinals match and the final match in the same night. So
Okay.
whoever wins out of these matches goes on to the finals, which I'm honestly going to take Takeshita and Moxley going to the finals here. In my opinion, I'm taking those two. I think Takeshi's going to beat Okada, because if Okada beat Takeshita and Okada don't come out after Wrestle Kingdom to challenge this man for the IWGP Championship, if Takeshita beats Yota Tsuji, I'm going to be pissed if that don't happen, because bump all this other stuff with TK. Then we have the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. They have a World Tag Team title now. We have the Babes of Wrath, and we have Mercedes Moné and Athena. Mercedes Moné is finally starting to lose all her belts, and I'm just so happy about that, because I just feel like, they say, oh, all the Mercedes Moné hype or hate. I don't think there's hate. I think that this company would have been fine if they never signed her. I honestly forget that she's there. I don't know what she's doing besides, winning belts and not really putting over anybody here. But hey, it is what it is. We also have the AEW Women's World Championship, Chris Statlander versus Jamie Hayter. And we have the AEW World Championship going on in the Fatal 4-Way. This is going to be very interesting. We have Samoa Joe as your champion versus Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page and versus a returning MJF. I don't know who's going to win this one right here, but honestly, I would not be mad if it's Joe if he keeps the belt and then one of these guys challenge him in a one-on-one match. But this is what you have right here for AEW tonight. AEW World End. It comes on at, let's say, 6:00, because they like to do their post-show their pre-show for like 2 hours, and then the main show starts at 8. This is available on pay-per-view, and you can also buy it on HBO Max, or you can watch it however you want to watch. Which I'm very curious, because with Netflix purchasing Warner Bros., I wonder if they're eventually going to just take the AEW pay-per-views and put them on Netflix. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Yeah.
All
But
right.
that's all I got for you right today, cuz we'll have more, because it's the most wonderful time of the new year starting to approach Wrestle Kingdom, and it's getting all the hype it deserves. If I'm correct, they already sold over 30,000 seats for that. Hiroshi Tanahashi's retiring. He faced Okada one last time. Yota Tsuji versus Konosuke Takeshita. It's a lot going on. So, we're going to have a lot to talk about, cuz.
And that's like the Japanese WrestleMania, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I thought so. Yeah.
Yep.
Looking forward to hear your commentary, hear your thoughts, hear the results, and we'll get into it. So as we transition into National Football League. So are you enjoying today's episode? This episode of the Grateful Gab Podcast is proudly sponsored by Sugarcane Sweet Shop. At Sugarcane Sweet Shop, every dessert is made with love, creativity, and a sprinkle of sweetness. From the signature cookies and cupcakes to custom cakes for every occasion, Sugarcane is available to make your moments a little more special. Follow them on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Sugarcane Sweet Shop to see what's fresh from the oven. And don't forget to treat yourself today. Thursday's games, week 17. Me and my cousin was just talking about this. I addressed this on Thursday. Cousin, we are 1 week away from the final season of the NFL. Excuse me, not the final season. Please don't be the final season. The final week of the regular season from the NFL. Week 18 is around the corner. Week
Who
17
would
is
have thought that Detroit Lions wouldn't be in the playoffs this year?
out of here. Gone.
Who would
Man,
have thought that? I didn't see that coming at all.
gone, man. They out, cuz. But man, the Vikings, dude, this hats off to this rookie quarterback.
Resilient team.
Right, this rookie quarterback, right? He didn't even really do nothing. It was the defense. Like the Vikings defense is like that. I think, unfortunately for JJ McCarthy to be unhealthy this year and inconsistent in the lineup, even with Carson Wentz not being available. I think if they had Carson Wentz down the stretch, I think they win more games than 8 games. You know what I mean? They probably be in the opposite position of the Detroit Lions playing for a playoff spot if they was in this situation from last Thursday. But they wanted to ruin the fun. They wanted to ruin the party for the Vikings. They said, I mean, for the Lions, they said, we ain't making it. Y'all ain't making it either. So, the Vikings end up dominating the Lions 23-10. Just a horrible offensive performance by the Lions. They had 5 turnovers. Jared Goff had 2 interceptions. They had some fumbles. He fumbled 3 times. He lost it 3 times. Jameer
Mm-mm-mm.
Gibbs had a fumble. He lost it. So they really had 6 turnovers in the game. I mean, it was just not it at all. But this Vikings defense was flying around, right? Like I said, creating turnovers, forcing the ball out. Helping this rookie quarterback, Max Brosmer, right? He went 9 for 16 for 51 yards. That's it. But yet they still found a way to win. We had Aaron Jones with 18 carries, 53 yards. We had one huge touchdown run by Jordan Addison, 1 carry, 65-yard touchdown. Right? You know what I mean? So Justin Jefferson has had an off year. I only think he's at 1,000 yards this year. He's at 947 yards going into week 18. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be targeting him a lot next week. So all the people who do fantasy better put him for targets because he's getting targeted next week. Because there's no way the Vikings not having their best wide receiver not reach 1,000 yards in the season. But
But it's a lot of money on the line this week and next week, dog. I'm
because
talking about yards and catches. I wouldn't have found a sheet. I
all
ain't
them
gonna pull it
incentives.
up right.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this is incentive week right here. I
Right.
went and found I found a couple of them. Let's see if I still gotta say.
Then
Oh
we had
yeah.
Then we had the Cowboys defeat the Commanders. I mean, we really didn't care about that game. Neither one of them playing for anything. Just, hey, you either in last place or you in second place, and neither one of them going to the playoffs because the Birds running the division again. Go Bird, baby. All right. Moving on. The Broncos defeated the Chiefs, right? Is it Travis Kelce last home game? Is it his last NFL? Was not last NFL game. Is it his last season? Is it his last home game? We don't know yet. We shall see. He got a lot going on in the offseason. Getting married to a pop star. He about to become a pop star wife, basically. Well, pop star husband. That's what he's gonna be known as after he got the field. But he's still gonna be a dog. Just going forward and see how he's gonna if he's going to continue a phenomenal career, or he's going to hang it up, right? If he does start next season, right? He'll be having the season starting off without his, best friend basically and quarterback and Patrick Mahomes. And then, how would the Chiefs look? What are the Chiefs going to look like? Are they going to look a lot of like what we see now, winning 6 games on the year, or are they going to be competitive? And that's crazy, man. To not see the Chiefs be dominant for so long, it kind of doesn't have me looking forward to the future for the Eagles because we've been good so long. The Chiefs been good so long. All these teams been good so long. Like you've spoken about, all these teams are catching up. So, Howie got to do a tremendous job to keep us relevant, keep us above float, and health wise, right? I mean, we do have good quarterbacks behind Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts, this is a true example of your quarterback being truly healthy. And even though Patrick Mahomes been healthy for the majority of the season, and they still haven't won games, it's like, all right, but when you lose your quarterback, it's really all bets out the window. You know what I mean? So, but the Broncos found a way to win their 13th win of the season, 20-13 over the Chiefs. And to go back on my take earlier this year, early on in the season. I nominated Shane Steichen for Coach of the Year. Some things fell apart over there as well. I still think he did a phenomenal
Yeah.
job coaching this year, but Sean Payton definitely going to win Coach of the Year. Just him or Mike Vabro. I think it'll be Sean Payton though, just because the way he turned these guys around. Right, playoff appearance last year, his first year as the coach. Then he came back this year. That was his first year last year, right? If I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
first year last year as a coach. Then he came back this year, leading the AFC, right, top of the AFC. Not only that, AFC West. Well, we don't know if they're the champions yet. I don't know how that works.
I think they still gotta beat the Chargers.
Yeah,
Chargers are undefeated.
yeah, Chargers division. Chargers play next week, but I think if the Chargers lose today, they won't have a chance to have a better record than them. So I think I think they'll still win the division. Or I don't know how that works because it'll be weird. I don't know.
Yeah, we
The
gotta
record
figure out how they actually do these
because
things.
they have a better overall record, but the Chargers have a better divisional record. So technically, right now in the division, the Broncos are ahead because of the overall record of the Broncos. Right? Yeah,
Okay.
because both of them have clinched playoff spots, but the division has not been won yet. So like I said, if yeah, I think how it works because the Chargers are 8-2 in the division. The Broncos are 8-3 in the division. So if the Broncos lose, well, I don't know. This is too much. If the Chargers lose today, they'll both have 8-3 records in the conference. But the Chargers will still be 5-0 in the division. The Broncos will be 4-1, but the Chargers will have 5 losses and the Broncos will have 3 losses. So what I mean, and it's crazy. Their only losses have come in the AFC. They've beaten every NFC team they faced this year. So that'll be something to look forward to. But speaking of the Chargers, today's matchups kicking off at 4:30 p.m. I think the best matchup of the day, honestly. We have the Chargers hosting the Texans, right? This Texas team, they didn't start off the right way. They kind of started off rocky. But they found a way to make it happen, right? They young defense, right? Young defenses are showing that is the way to go, right? People are looking to draft these guys to build defenses instead of pay guys. They might have a couple of veteran guys here, a couple of veteran guys there, but they're looking to build these defenses from the ground up, right? They started a couple years ago with Weir Anderson. Then they got the Kamari Lessers from Georgia. Then they got the other guy, the other cornerback that they got, Stingley and all these other guys that they on the offensive side of the ball, right? They're young as well. They got young wide receivers, young quarterback, and all these type of things, but they're just trying to put it together. So it should be a good matchup today for the Chargers, right? You got Ladd McConkey and those guys over there on that side of the ball for the Chargers are looking to play big against that Texas defense. So it should be a good game, right? The Chargers got a good defense as well, so this should be the best game of Saturday. And then we have later on game tonight. Again, the game at 4:30 p.m. will be on the NFL Network, and then tonight at 8 p.m. on Peacock. We got the Ravens going up against the Packers, right? Ravens still trying to hold on to playoff position, right? Playoff hopes, and then
Yeah.
also the Packers are trying to hold on to the playoff hopes as well because you
Oh no,
know.
I heard they're in with that
Okay.
Lions loss.
Oh, yep, yep, yep. They are in. Yeah, so they did clinch a playoff spot. Yeah, they clinched a playoff spot, but now they in position, right? They fighting for position now to be able to say if I'm gonna be whatever seed, right? Because their divisional matchups they have one more divisional game, and I believe they play the Vikings. They played the Vikings the last game of the year. They just lost to the Bears a couple weeks ago. So now that's a must-win game just to have a record-wise. So they win out, and the Bears lose, then they can potentially get that number one. They can get they can win the division. So a lot of division matchups still going on, right? We got NFC South still up for grabs, NFC North still up for grabs, AFC East still up for grabs, AFC North still up for grabs, right? All these divisions still up for grabs. So we shall see how we're AFC South still up for grabs,
Yep.
right? NFC West, I mean AFC West, basically the AFC. Most of the NFC is sewn up. We got it. No AFC division has been claimed yet. The NFC East is claimed by the Birds, of course. The NFC West is claimed, I believe, by the. Is they even claimed yet? Sure. Okay.
No, but I don't see no claims yet.
Well, hey, the only one, of course, put it down is the Bird, baby. And that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can't say our division suck because we the only division that every team got a Super Bowl. All right, just like I mean, record. I can't with this fool, man. No, but for real though. So don't try to say, oh, the NFC East suck. No, it don't. Okay, yeah, the Cowboys and the Giants and the Commanders, they ain't it this year. But we the only division in the NFL with every team got Super Bowl. So leave us alone. All right.
I personally think the Cowboys had a better season than people anticipated.
I mean, yeah, they did. They did. I think the tie early on in the year kind of shot them in the foot, but they had some notable wins. But I mean,
That's the
whatever.
word. Some
Hey,
notable performances.
yeah, but but noteworthy, not in the playoffs. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So again tonight, Peacock 8 p.m. Ravens Packers. Lamar Jackson won't be available. Jordan Love won't be available. So it's really going to be on these defenses in the run game. If you ask me, that's going to be the deciding factor who's going to win. The Ravens play the run a little bit better. They suck against the pass. So, well, actually, you got Malik Willis. Malik Willis was what, a third rounder, first round a couple years ago? What was he? I forgot. So
Ooh.
he's a guy who's going to, you know, they run the same style offense when he's in the lineup. When whether or not the what's his name? Whether or not, excuse
His
me,
third round pick.
third round, I thought so. Yeah, third rounder. Right. Huge hype coming out of Liberty. And he's constantly developed, right? He has good flashes of, those quarterbacks who come in the draft at young ages with high expectations and don't really pan out, right? He didn't pan out in Tennessee, right? He got revamped when he went to Green Bay, right? Try to, learn another young quarterback who kind of had a lot of hype on him, but was able to develop behind somebody who's going to be a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers. So now, he got to learn from Jordan Love, so he's developing. So they're going to still put the ball in the air with that good wide receiver core that they have for the Packers. So it's going to be on the Ravens, right? Even with the Ravens though, the Ravens quarterback, he played well when he came in, right? So it's
Come
going
on,
to really
Tyler
be
Huntley.
on. Yeah, Tyler Huntley. So it's really going to be on the quarterbacks, and it's also going to be on the run game. The run game, the quarterback, and the defense. Basically a normal NFL game, but those are going to be the deciding factors. Who can run
Yep.
the ball better, right? You got Derrick Henry on one side. You got what's my boy name on the other side? With the Packers. I can't think of his name right now.
Dang, but it slipped my mind too.
Name was
Jesus
brother
Christ.
name. I can't
The
think of his name.
disrespect.
He a dog too. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
My apologies, but they got him on one side. He played for the Raiders a while. I can't think of his name right now. But
It's
they
worry
got
about
him.
it.
They got him on one side. They got Derrick Henry on the other side. Then you got these two defenses, right? Two young defenses, right? The second, I'm taking the Packers defense over the Ravens defense right now, right? And it's sad to say, they got dogs on both sides. Roquan, Javon
Josh
Bullard,
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. There we go. Josh Jacobs. Yep. Josh Jacobs on the other side. So this should be a good game, man, tonight. I don't think it'll be better than the Chargers Texans game, but we shall see, because all four of these teams have something riding on these outcomes. And that's what makes these last 2 weeks of the NFL season so exciting. Right. So looking forward to these matchups today. And then week 17 finishes on Sunday and Monday. We got some huge matchups on Sunday as well. In the NFL tomorrow, kicking off at 1 p.m. We got the Browns versus the Steelers, right? Steelers need a must-win game for the Steelers, right? They're trying to continue to
Mhm.
keep that game and a half, whatever ahead they are of the Ravens. And the Browns. They just want to win games, right? They don't care how it looks. But Shador Sanders, he's starting to continue to get better and develop. Right, he's trying to go into the offseason with much more confidence, knowing that he will most likely be QB1 next year. Right, how was the organization of Cleveland going to build around him? Right, you see the city love him, you see the team love him. Right, what are y'all going to do to put yourself in position to be successful? Because the kid can play football. Right, we've seen it.
Mhm.
The kid can play football. He can win games. All right, so what are you
He can
going to do?
use his legs better than Michael Penix.
Right,
Yeah.
so so what are they gonna do to put him in position to be successful, to put this team in a new direction, right? What can y'all do? Because he can do it. He can be that guy. He can be that guy for Cleveland. He can be that guy for the Browns. What are y'all gonna do to help him out? So we shall see how that game goes tomorrow in Cleveland, 1 p.m. on CBS. Then we got the Patriots going up against the Jets at 1 p.m. on Fox. We got the Titans versus the Saints. We got the Colts versus the Jaguars. Huge matchup, right, in the AFC South. I believe the Colts are still fighting for a playoff spot, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You know, so
They holding on.
how do you think of Phil Rivers' last couple performance last 2 weeks?
The man showing that he can still play in the NFL at 44 years old.
Right.
Somebody shared a picture on Facebook of all these great defenses that Phillip Rivers has faced over his career, and they said this man done faced all this, and y'all thought these new defenses was gonna be a problem.
Mm,
You
uh,
know,
yeah.
like,
But see, I never thought about that. I never thought it was going to be his IQ. I think when Philip Rivers played, he was a phenomenal quarterback. I just thought with the age, like bro, you're 44. He moves slow in the pocket, cuz
oh
like
yeah,
like he moving like a snail. I haven't seen him move around yet, but I'm just saying like even his mechanics, right? It's not as crisp as of course a 30-year-old, no, 20-year-old Philip Rivers was, but he
hmm
making it happen. He putting up good stats, right? He did
yeah.
have a
On top of that, he been gone for 5 years.
right.
That's the impressive part.
Right. So he did have a turnover last week, but he still had two touchdowns for 277. So, but again, huge matchup tomorrow for the Colts and next week, right? The next 2 weeks they have AFC South opponent, and currently right now in the AFC South they are, I believe, third. They're
Yep.
third in the AFC South right now, but they have a 2-2 divisional record. So now you 1-2 lost 2 games in the division, right? Jacksonville is the only team in the division who clinched the playoff spot, right? So now you are in position to uh go against Houston. So you want Houston to lose today, so they can go to 10-6. You want y'all to win tomorrow, so y'all can go to 9-7. So then when y'all meet Houston at the end of the year, that's a playoff. That's a playoff game because
Yep.
if Houston wins today, and then y'all lose tomorrow, y'all out already. You know what I mean? So now we looking at it's not apples to apples no more. So again, that's still up for grabs right there, and the AFC South is up for grabs also. So I don't even know if the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Texans play any longer. They don't even play anymore this year. So the Texans have one win over the Jaguars, and the Jaguars have one win over the Texans. So they split.
You know what
So
this means, though?
what is it?
This means that the Texans has to beat the Chargers today because the Jaguars already beat the Chargers.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah,
so
because then it's gonna come down to tiebreakers. Who beat who?
okay. So now, see, look, I love this time of the year, and
Mhm.
hats off to the Jaguars. Who expected the Jaguars to be this good, right? New head coach, right? I mean, you lose your number one draft pick, even though Travis Hunter wasn't the deciding factor of the success, but this is somebody you want to see, and we missed off of seeing him in the playoffs his first year. That sucks, right? Of course, he got injured, but this is what we want to be able to see. But this is gonna be a good matchup this weekend for both of those teams. Again, the Colts Jaguars matchup and the Texans Titans, not Texas Titans, Texans Chargers matchup later on today. So again, for games tomorrow, we got the Buccaneers going up against the Dolphins, right? A must win for the Buccaneers just because they want to be able to keep record wise up against the Panthers, and then the Panthers host the Seahawks. That's gonna be a good game. This is a game I should have went to,
Ooh,
but that's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a good test for the Panthers, right? To show
yes.
if they're really ready for the playoffs and ready to face these good teams, no matter what your record says. And then it's going to be a good matchup to get them prepared to go face a hungry Tampa Bay Buccaneers team because they felt like they should have beat y'all last week, but y'all end up winning, which was a phenomenal win for them. But this Panthers defense, another young defense flying around, right? Bryce Young coming into his own form. I mean, the NFL is definitely heading into a great direction for real, just overall, right? Yeah, the Chiefs didn't make it this year, but you still got a lot of great AFC teams in the playoffs, right? The Eagles made it, but we still got a lot of NFC teams that's good in the playoff this year, right? A lot of surprises. We still waiting to see the final picture. So it's the NFL is heading in a good direction, regardless of these super teams or these regular powerhouse dynasty teams not being available for the playoffs. So it still should be a good
It's
playoff
just
run.
more competition, dog. All
Right.
that's gonna happen with Kansas City is that they're going to revamp.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna get Patrick everything he needs.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna revamp. That's what's gonna happen here.
For sure.
So
Yeah, so looking forward to it. Looking forward to see what the Bengals do, right? Bengals, Cardinals. Looking to see what Joe Burrow's offseason going to be like, right? Is he going to stay at Bengals? He going to go somewhere else? Like, what is he
Are
going to
there
do?
is there actual talk of there is there actual hints? Because I'm hearing hints of Lamar leaving Baltimore.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, this gonna be a dramaful summer, cousin.
Well, we here for it. Looking forward to it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we shall see how it all works out. But I mean, I don't know. What direction are they going to go to, right? Where are they going to go to be successful? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's I don't know, but we shall see. We shall see. It's going to be
Mhm.
interesting to see if these guys wear the same colors next year or if they on different teams and see what the likelihood of them being successful on those teams. So I'm looking forward to that. Got the Raiders hosting the Giants tomorrow at 4 or 5 p.m. And of course, the biggest game of the afternoon tomorrow, 4:25 p.m. on Fox. We got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Buffalo Bills up in Buffalo. It's supposed to be winter weather advisory type of style games. You know, looking forward to it. Right, the run game's coming into effect for the Eagles, and I'm glad they kind of had that stumble because my hope went, withered on them for a while. I was very disappointed of representing the Eagles. We're really not representing them because I love the Birds, go Birds. But now they're coming into the form of the type of team they're supposed to be. Right, they're looking more complete than we did early in the season when we came to 8 wins early on, and then we had that skid. Right, but now the run game is getting better. Right, the offense is starting to look more efficient. Right, getting on the center. I love when Jalen Hurts is in single back formation under center. I do feel like we need to run more pistol formations, right? More pistol formations. I think that gives a little bit more, that gives the defense a little bit more to look forward to, right? You give Jalen more space to, do RPO. You give Jalen more space to be able to do quarterback design runs, different things like that. And you get to stack the line still, and you don't have to directly put him on the center where a lot of more things can happen, but still you can have more formations to run power formations, right? Different type of schemes out of pistol. So I think they need to start incorporating the pistol formation more as well. But they get into the empty sets, right? Defense is playing lights out. We got Jalen Carter coming back. So this will be a huge matchup for the Birds going into week 17, right? People keep talking about the number 2 seed and all these seedings. I just want them to be winning at the right time. I don't care if we're going at the 7 seed. We need to be able to go play Eagles football so we can try to make a run again, right? So looking forward to it. Bills Eagles matchup. Of course, I'm taking the Birds. Um, and then it should be a good game, all right. I'm looking forward to see how the Bills it should be a run heavy game. The Bills run defense sucks, right? And the Bills are a good running team, so this is going to be again a game of the trenches. Is our offensive line going to dominate their D line, and is our D line going to dominate their offensive line? Again, Jordan Davis, he's having a career year. Glad we signed him to his 50-year extension. We should be getting him on contract. We better keep Jalen Phillips, right? We got Nolan Smith on a rookie contract. We got Jalen Hunt on a rookie contract. We got Jalen Carter on a rookie contract. So we got Moro Jumbo on rookie contract. We got
That's just ridiculous
we
right
got
there.
Ty Robinson. We got Ty
Of
Robinson.
talent on rookie contracts.
Right. We got Ty Robinson. We just signed him. We just drafted him this year, right? We got Jahad Campbell, right? N'Kobe Dean, he's getting healthy. He got a small hamstring injury, so they want to be able to keep him on the sideline until the playoffs come, right? Keep him healthy so we can actually make a run. But yeah, man, this is the matchup I've been looking forward to all year. Really, for real, for real. Like, this time of the year, playing a team like this, a team that has a lot of opportunity to go and claim the AFC and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl finally because Patrick Mahomes not there. But oh boy, he's beating all the other quarterbacks in the playoffs right now. He's beating the Lamar Jacksons. He's beating the Bo Nix,
Justin Herberts.
the Justin Herbert. He's beating those guys, right? Um, Besides Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen is the most experienced quarterback going into the playoffs right now. And we don't even know Lamar going there. So, well,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers too, beside Aaron
Yeah.
too, yeah, but besides those two guys, he's the most experienced one. So we shall see. This playoffs are going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great game, but I need the Birds to come out and play Philly football tomorrow. Punch them in the mouth, run the ball. Jalen be efficient, wide receivers catch the ball, and just go have fun, man. Have fun. This when you start having fun at this time of the year, that's what makes football, right? You playing, right? No worries. You just having fun, and when you have fun, you win games. So that's what we need to do. So I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow, 4:25 p.m. on Fox is going to be the national televised game all around the world or all around the country. You can check them out. Go Birds. Tomorrow night, Sunday night football, we got the 49ers versus the Bears. A huge matchup, right? This is
Yeah.
just a huge matchup in regards to seedings. Once again, right? The NFC West is being claimed already. We know the 49ers are not going to win the NFC West. It's either going to be the Rams or the Seahawks, right? Seahawks, and they're in prime position right now. They beat the Panthers. Most likely they're going to be the NFC West champions, right? But the Rams are in position still, and then you got the 49ers. So 3 teams from the NFC West are going to make the playoffs this year, right? A similar situation to the NFC East a couple years ago. But the NFC West will have 3 playoff teams this year. All 3 of them are there. Seahawks number 1, and the 49ers actually number 2 right now in the division. right? They are 4-1 in the division. They have a better divisional record than the Rams, and they have the same record. So at 11-4 wins and losses. So
Ooh.
we shall see. Even the 49ers could win the division because they have a 4-1 record. They beat the Bears, they'll be 12-4. If the Seahawks lose to the Panthers, they'll be 12-4. And then in their last game of the year, the Seahawks and the 49ers face off. So I mean, this is where you want to be at, man. This is what you want to see week 17 and week 18 of the NFL season. I think this has been the most exciting NFL season for the last couple of weeks in a long time. Like I can't really recall the last year that it's been this much anticipation in the last week 17 and week 18 regular season games of the NFL season. I can't recall. But
Mhm.
2025 it's been a great year for football, man. Looking forward to it. So again, that's Sunday night football. It's going to be on NBC, and the Bears will be on the road against the 49ers. And then Monday night football, right? We got the 8:15 ESPN game. We got the Falcons in prime time against the Rams down in Atlanta, right? A must-win game for the Rams and the Falcons. They're just looking to try to represent, right? They're looking to, say, hey, okay, what are we doing? Some people don't want the Falcons to win because they say, if the Falcons beat teams like this, Raheem Moore is going to stay there, blah blah blah. I don't know, but
But they might as well just accept fate. I've heard all kinds of stuff. Arthur Blank bringing in people to do evaluations. We're going to basically break down. We're going to look at every single game. I think it's a small chance that Raheem keep his job. But if Raheem keep his job, I think they losing the fan base
mm,
because we've seen enough.
well, it's gonna be a lot riding on this game. So I think Arthur Blank see that the Falcons, if he see the potential of what the Falcons can be, right? Y'all battle a lot of different things, right? Injuries on both sides of the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistent coaching, right? Inconsistent performance from players, like so many things had to go wrong for the Falcons, which is unfortunate. But a win like this over a top seeded NFC team at home Monday night, prime time, the world looking at you. I think Arthur Blank said, you weigh your options. You weigh your options, right? Of course, it's not the season you want to have, but me personally, I'm gonna get him out of there because losing records is losing record. I don't care if you beat good teams at one point in time. Losing records is losing records. I don't know Raheem Moore's overall record since he's been a Falcons head coach, but I'm pretty
Not a
sure it's
winning
not.
record.
But I'm pretty sure it's
Not
not a winning record. Yeah, so
No, it's not.
but
No playoff appearances either.
right, so
Yeah. It's
yeah,
gonna be either look here, it's either gonna be Terry or Rara, or it's gonna be both.
or both, right,
The thing that's gonna save Terry Fontenot's job is this last draft class. Because that defensive draft class has been showing out since they stepped in the building.
right.
Like that's the thing that could potentially save his job. But I remember I told you this last year. I said they're gonna make this Falcons job look very good to somebody else.
Mm.
And we got pieces. We just need someone that can come in and fix the financial situation. I thought Terry could have did it, but then he went and got Kirk, and that didn't work out right there. So
Pay that boy
yeah, but
bad
they
too.
can they can beat the Rams so that the Rams don't have good position. They already have our first round pick next year.
Oh yeah, so they definitely got blood in the water for him. But yeah, back to what you were saying about Kurt, that boy getting that bag. Oh my goodness, I mean to the bank. He's
Everybody need to go and get his lawyer, not
right
get his agent, bro.
going to the bank. Yeah, man. But for a guy who hasn't had playoff success, like, he had phenomenal regular season stats and numbers, but for a guy to have that get paid that much money for not being successful when it matters is it has to be studied for sure. So yeah, man, these Atlanta teams they be on something different, man. And we're gonna get to the
Yeah.
Hawks when we get to basketball. But speaking of that, let's get into top 10 because what you got for me in top 10 this week, man?
All right, man. This was a tough top 10 for me. I ain't gonna even cap.
Oh, let
But
me get my
now,
let me get my button ready.
oh nah, man, it's just people and their placements of where they at. So coming in at number 10, I do have the Eagles sitting back up in my top 10.
I tell him, and I told him,
Man, they peaking at the right time, back to back divisional champions right here. So,
the bird, baby.
just somebody to look out for. Then number 9, I got the Chicago Bears. I still think that is a great team that people
They
need to look
dropped.
out for. Yeah, they dropped, dog, but hey,
What a win
it's
to the
some
Packers last week. That was
yeah, but they got this is a very tough season right now, cuzzo. It's a very tough season right now, okay? Oh boy. So number 8, I do have the Los Angeles. My bad, San Diego. Yeah, Los Angeles Chargers sitting at number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still a big fan of Justin Herbert, but I don't agree with this whole thing about Harbaugh being the best coach like in all of football. I don't like agree with that at all.
He's
Like
not winning coach of the year or whatever.
they
He's
they
not
can
doing.
calm that down, but the Chargers are playing great on both sides of the ball and they're doing it well. They dealt with a lot of injuries starting out the season and they were still
Mhm.
winning. They got beat up a little bit, but they're peaking at the right time.
Right.
So number 8, spinning the block, I do have the Chargers knocking on the door. Knocking on the door, I do have the Patriots. They have dropped some. Yes, I do have the Pacers. They have dropped. Still a very good team. Still a very, very good team. But the person that said move out the way, I'm hitting on the door first. They had a lot to say about it. Buffalo Bills. They have climbed my rankings. I can say I have like kind of been waiting for them to climb my rankings. Am I being a little bit biased because I'm like they smell blood in the water? This is their opportunity, and we can deal with the Patrick Mahomes asterisk next year. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like they smell blood in the waters. Buffalo, like you said, they're peaking at the right time, and it's getting cold. So now y'all got to play in our domain. So it
Mm-hmm.
don't matter. Josh Allen still doing Josh Allen things. This is just a great team. So right quick.
Looking forward to it, boy. The
So
bird, we
my
flying high,
5.
element, baby.
So my 5. People
Oh,
sitting in the house right now. Yeah.
all
So
warm,
Bills.
eating hot chocolate, drinking hot chocolate with s'mores.
Oh yeah, they warm drinking hot chocolate with s'mores and talking about Super Bowl aspirations. Everybody staring at that head of the table chair. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Bills and Patriots, they are knocking on the door. Bills sitting at number 6 and Patriots sitting at number 7. So coming in at number 5, I got the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a hiccup with the Jaguars, but it's okay, man. They still are a very, very good team. Bo Nix is still that guy. Hey, it's good to have you a nice little hiccup before the playoffs. Sean Payton's going to fix it up. He's going
Mm-hmm.
to clean it. The defense is doing well. Wasn't this another team that was coming off like a 10-11 game winning streak?
Oh yeah, up
Yeah,
there,
so
yeah.
it was bound to happen. Those teams that go into the playoffs with like high winning streaks, it never works out well for them.
Yeah. Ask the Patriots who went undefeated. All right.
Oh, yeah. What's up, cousin? You got a question?
No. I was just saying, continue.
He said as a patient. uh, number 4 is Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they don't want nobody to jump on the bandwagon. They was like, F you, if you trying to jump on this bandwagon right now, y'all can go on somewhere. But it's about time for Jacksonville to do what they're doing. It's like they kind of do this every like, let's say 8 to 10 years. Jacksonville has a team that pops up out of nowhere and they're ultra competitive. Remember that Blake Bortles team? They got stopped right there at the conference championship, and they had a very fast and get after you defense, and then a very elusive offense.
They
That's what
said,
we're looking at.
I think their head coach, he might be in running for head coach of the year too.
And you gotta love seeing first year head coaches kind of come in and just change the organization.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're putting it all together. I still think it'd be interesting if they're Tony Khan. I know what he looking at. He looking at they have the chance to go to the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl, and Triple H got to deliver my Jacksonville Jack or my daddy team one of these WWE championships that I could take and drop in a trash can on the AEW TV because it's not an actual championship. It's a merchandise piece. So
Mm.
I know what Tony Khan's looking at. Number 3, I got the San Francisco 49ers. The
Yeah.
little engine that could is not playing. Brock Purdy out here throwing 5 TD games. They are putting it all together. All of the injuries, bro. Every team, a lot of these teams I've named, they dealt with some serious injuries or they're still dealing with injuries. They're just putting it all together. Everybody is stepping up. That next man up mentality is paying off. And those are teams you really got to watch going into the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Rams are sitting at number 2. We already know how good the Rams are. They just had them a hiccup against my new number 1 team sitting at the top of the table and everybody just looking at them, the Seattle Seahawks. And I still say, bro, thoroughly believe this is the only team that has not been out of my rankings all year long.
Yeah. No boy.
Yeah, but see, they have been consistent, man. But
Who that?
Seattle Seahawks, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and they still one of the most dangerous teams to play on the road. Like they're going into having a official home bye, but if they didn't even get the home bye and they just they stepped in like 2-3 seed, or they stepped in on the back end, they had to go somewhere and play. They're one of the most dangerous teams you don't want to play at home. I'm talking about at your home. They can win on the road very good, and that's very helpful in the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yep, that's my top 10 right there for you, cuz.
Hey, wonderful top 10. Like I said last week or the week before last, I knew the Birds were going to be back,
You
right?
said it last week.
I'm looking forward to us when we beat the Bills. We probably move up to like number 6, which I'm cool with that. But when it's all said and done,
That last one, oh, but the last rankings of the season, boy, this probably gonna get jumbled up because we got some big games.
it's woo. He's talking
Yeah,
about
so it's
big
probably gonna
games.
get jumbled up after this week,
We got
going
some
into that
bombs,
final.
man.
Godly, he dropped the bomb. I
We got
can't
some,
deal.
we got some bombs, boy. I'm ready, baby. All right, let's get into it, man. College football playoff quarterfinals, not semifinal. We ain't gonna jump ahead too much, but we are gonna give our prediction for the quarterfinal matchups for Wednesday, and then we'll come back on Thursday, Sports Huddle, because those games kick off Thursday at noon. We're gonna cover the matchups today, but we're gonna give the prediction on Thursday for those New Year Day matchups. So looking forward to it as we get into the college football quarterfinals. So again, I said it Thursday. I was talking junk about you and your bracket and how it got messed up. My bracket got messed up too. And them officially needs to go to the Big 12 or something like that. They got to get out the SEC. For you to be able to be a representative of the SEC and score 3 points in your first game, and you've been a top 5 team since like week 7, week 8 of the regular season, and
Yeah,
you only scored 3 points. Your quarterback looked like crap, right?
yeah.
Miami, they ain't even look that good, but the defense was smothering y'all. Like y'all sweet, bro. Like I thought y'all would have been good, but we digress. Y'all didn't make it. Miami.
All I heard, like, I'm talking about if I close my eyes, I'm just laying here because that game was sitting here in a snooze fest. All I heard was a sack by Miami, another quarterback hit by Miami. That's all I heard.
It was on.
I'm
I
just
mean,
like,
they dominated the boys on the trenches, man. Crushed them. So I mean, that's going to set up this good game for the Cotton Bowl, right? Again, the quarterfinal matchups, and I covered it on Thursday as well. But I wanted to be able to, get your take and kind of see what are some of the most interesting matchups for you. And I think all these matchups are interesting. I think the least anticipated matchup is between Texas Tech and Oregon, which I don't understand why. I just think that's where less hype is being directed to. But I think it's going to be a phenomenal matchup as well. The Indiana Alabama matchup, right? People been talking about, can Alabama consistently run the ball against this Indiana team, right? Their run offense has been, a ghost this year, right? Has not been there, has not existed. So that's going to be a key matchup for Alabama going into that game. Fix the run game, right? Then of course you got Georgia Ole Miss, right? People's talking about, oh, what Ole Miss team are you going to get? Without Lane Kiffin, blah blah blah. No, the Bulldogs, we ain't believing into that hype. We're going to prepare for these guys the same way we prepared when they had Lane Kiffin, because they have a phenomenal offense, right? They have a ferocious defense, and we have to do what we have to do to go in there and win a Sugar Bowl, because we ain't lose twice in New Orleans in 2 years. I ain't going for it. I'm telling you, I might have to fire Kirby Smart. Not playing. We know you, Kirby. I'm just playing. No, but for real, man. So this is a huge matchup, huge opportunity for the Bulldogs to right the wrong from last year. Even though last year is done, right? We shot ourselves in the foot. We got beat by a better team. Well, they won, so they were the better team. But but yeah, so we going into this year, right? Gonna start this playing a phenomenal season, right? Offense looking good, defense is looking good, running the ball, defense is coming into form, and I definitely don't think we allow Ole Miss to score 35 straight points. This is not the same defense. So that defense you've seen in the SEC championship, the defense you've seen in that back half of the season, is the defense we're going to get in this playoff run. So I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, the first matchup of the quarterfinals is going to be on New Year's Eve, December 31st, number 2 Ohio State, number 10 Miami, right? Another defensive matchup. My only question about Miami, what is your offense going to do, right? Because Ohio State has a great offense and great defense. So your defense will be able to stop them a few times, but you got to be able to score on a team like that, right? Or or
mm-hmm.
or you could for instance, look at the Indiana game, right? Somebody, they scored more points than them eventually, but they only held them to 10 points. They won 13-10. And their kicker, right? This is a team now. Miami, not now. Ohio State has been tested, right? They know how it feels to be down. They know how it feels to have, your kicker got to put the game on his back, right? They've had the experience in one of the biggest games they faced all year, but now this is a new area, right? Neutral site down in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. What is that, in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken? I
I
think the
believe
good,
so.
yeah. So in somewhere in Texas. I believe it's in Dallas though.
Arlington, Texas,
Yeah, yeah.
AT&T
So yeah,
Stadium.
Yeah. So at who stadium? The Cowboy Stadium.
AT&T.
So they're gonna be in the Cowboy Stadium, right? Miami away from home, Ohio State away from home. Who's gonna be able to get over that hump more, right? Who's gonna be able to run the ball, right? I think this is a who's gonna be able to run the ball type of game, right? Both of these defensive line, these trenches are outstanding, right? Who's gonna be able to run the ball? And you know the Ohio State running back, the amount of running back, wide receivers, them boys dogs. So if
Yeah.
they're going to be able to keep pace with Ohio State's offense, right? That's my thing. So looking forward to it, man. So who are you taking? Cause I said we're gonna do it Thursday, but I want us to do our bracket now, and then we'll kind of go into Thursday's sports. So we'll, if you're able to be here, we'll go into what's the deciding factor in these matchups and these wins between these two teams. And I kind of just ran down on the.
Don't start the 6-7
I'm
thing
not.
because
I'm not. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna do that. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yes. Oh no, man. I'm still not a believer in Miami. I know they got a good defense, but let's just say I'm not a believer in Carson Beck. So I'm going to go with Ohio State.
Yeah,
Because Ohio State, they've been in this playoffs. It's like we got to start factoring in college football playoff experience.
right,
And Ohio State has a lot of college football playoff experience.
right,
So they have experience in these type of games. Miami, they kind of just not getting back to the dance. And then Carson Beck, I'm just not a believer. What version of Carson Beck are we going to get?
right,
Because
right.
that first round version, that's a ghost. That don't exist no more. Like
And
that does not exist no more. And it's okay, you got a good defense, but this is gonna be one of those smash mouth games where Ohio State they could play those type of defensive battles to where okay, we got to just sit here and go pound like blow for blow until somebody break away, and Ohio State will be that team that can break away from them.
right, he went 14 for 20, 103 yards and one touchdown. That's not gonna win against
I'm
Ohio
sorry,
State.
you said 14 for 20, 103 yards.
In a touchdown, yeah.
That was against Texas A&M.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I'm not a believer. I'm just not a believer in Carson Beck. I'm not gonna say it. I can't just say it Miami as a whole because the defense played an outstanding game.
right.
I'm not a believer in Carson Beck. I'm more of a believer in Ohio State to get down there. If I gotta win by a field goal, then I can win by a field goal this time around. They got
Maybe.
more playoff experience. You remember last year, bro? They just like exploded in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, so
Lost
yeah,
the Big
I'm not a
Ten, so we shall
yeah.
see. We shall see. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to take Ohio State as well, just because I want to see them. I want to see them, right? I want to see Ohio State, the reigning national champion. I want to see them. I know the Georgia Bulldog. They focus on seeing Ole Miss, right? But me as a fan outside looking in, I want to see Ohio State, right? I want to see them. I want us to handle business against Ole Miss, right? Stay healthy, beat them up enough so we can rest people for the next game, but I want to see Ohio State. Right. That's what I want to see. But I just think this Ohio State team as a whole is better than the Miami team. Like you said, the offensive, these wide receivers are studs. Even though Miami Malachi Tony, the freshman, he's gonna be a dog. All right, this kid is gonna be a future first rounder, maybe even a Heisman Trophy finalist one day. But they got to get better quarterbacks around him. But this kid is going to be phenomenal, a great athlete, just overall player, true freshman. He's a stud. So, but of course, on the other side, you got the best wide receiver in the in the country, and Jeremiah Smith. He a dog, right? Then you got the other kid next to him. I can't think Tate, right? You got him over there. So like Ohio State got dogs, man. They got a good run. They got a good running back, right? Julian Sands been having a phenomenal year, right? So I mean, it's just this is what you do, right? They have a squad, right? Again, uh they have Jeremiah Smith, Cornell Tate, right? Williams. They got a lot of receivers. Then they got the tight ends. Guys 6'6", 6'5", like huge tight ends. Offensive
Yeah.
line, grown men, right? Defense, they have a defense, right? They got the Caleb Down. They got all these guys over there on the defensive side of the ball. They basically got the same defense that they paid for a couple years ago, right? So these guys are future first round picks on future NFL professional players on both sides of the ball for both teams. But I just think Ohio State has a more complete team. So that game is going to be on Wednesday, December 31st, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Looking forward to it. So the first matchup of the quarterfinals, we both took Ohio State. All right, moving on to January 1st games. Noon, Capital One Orange Bowl, number 4 Texas hosting number 5 Oregon. Who you taking, cuz?
Hmm. That's a tough one right there for me. Hmm. I feel like I really didn't pay much. It's like Oregon, you know who they are. Texas Tech, I feel like I didn't really pay much attention to Texas Tech.
Right.
Hmm.
Well,
I'm gonna go with the upset for right now, and I'll have more information on this one next Thursday because I want to do some research on this game.
I honestly, me personally, I'm not sold on Oregon's defense. For you to give up 34 points against
The James
JMU,
Madison.
you
Hmm.
gave up 34 points against James Madison. You created no turnover. You didn't do anything to stop these guys. Your offense just your offense just had to score on every play, basically, right? Now
Yeah.
you're going up against a Texas Tech defense and then not even that though. JMU, they took the ball away twice from Oregon. They took the ball away. The Oregon quarterback had 2 interceptions against JMU. And again, they probably underestimated them, but you're going up against a way better defense than Texas Tech, right? Texas Tech, they
Yeah.
hear the noise, or we're being doubted. We're being doubted, right? I think this Texas Tech team is coming to play, right? I'm not, pretty sure on their offense, what their offense looks like, right? I don't know what they rank offensive wise in the country, but man, this Texas Tech team, first of all, they can beat up on people, right? They dropped 34 points on BYU in the Big 12 championship. They
Hey,
put
yo, Cuzzo.
what's up, cuz?
Texas Tech, third in points per game, third in points allowed,
Hey, t-
fifth in total yards,
give me
11th in passing yards,
give me
fifth in yards allowed.
Give me Texas Tech. I'm telling you, man. Oregon ain't nah, bro. Oregon ain't built for
Yeah.
this moment, man. Them boys, Texas Tech, like you just said, the numbers speak for itself. They got a powerful offense and they have a powerful defense. So what is Oregon going to do? What is going to be the deciding factor for Oregon to say, okay, we just gave up 34 points to JMU. We can hold Texas Tech. We just gave the ball away twice to a FBS school, right? A Power Five school. How many times you gonna get a ball up to Texas Tech? Them guys flying around. They got one of the best linebackers in the country, right? He won a Buckets Award. You know what I mean? So, one of the best linebackers in the country. So besides CJ Allen the dog too. Shout out to the dogs. But yeah, man. So I'm taking Texas Tech just because they're reading again. You gave up 34 points to James Madison. You're going to get a much better team in um Texas Tech. So
Yeah.
I don't think they fair enough to defeat Texas Tech. So that's gonna be the first game of the new year for this, but the second game of the quarterfinals. Texas Tech over Oregon. I'm taking Texas Tech. You taking
Um,
Texas Tech?
yeah.
All right. So we both got Ohio State, Texas Tech, and bracket looking good so far. We shall see. All right, baby. Number 1 team in the country. Number 9 team in the country. Alabama, Indiana. Who you taking, cuz?
Ah, I know how good that Indiana defense is, but then it's just like, you know what I don't appreciate when it comes to Indiana? I don't appreciate everybody calling them the best team in this playoffs based off of their story.
Right. I can
Yeah,
respect that.
I don't like that right there.
Yeah,
Like,
I can respect the dislike.
yeah, best off of their based off of their story. I'm just like, they could have said, "Oh, they have a outstanding defense," which they do. They got the Heisman quarterbacks, which that is completely debatable. His stats are like half of the stats of Joe Burrow when he won the Heisman.
Mm,
But yeah, yeah, yeah. When more information trickles in, I do what we should do as humans. We take new knowledge in and we assess it and we apply it. That's what we do here.
we do.
But I'm gonna take Indiana.
Okay. Yeah, man, this is a
Yeah,
toss up for me, man. And this game is at
yeah,
4 p.m. on Thursday, but again, we'll have more insight and coverage to these
yeah.
matchups.
Because don't get me wrong, Alabama has every. You said the word about the running game, which I have not paid attention to. Because I'm trying to remember when was the last year I heard about. Well, besides Gibbs, what was the last year I heard about a Alabama running back? Like they used to be known for their running backs.
Right.
Like Nick Saban used to come to Georgia and poach running backs for the future.
Left and
So
right.
it's just like, what happened to them? They used to be a running back factory, but
Mhm.
if they can't run the ball on, you can't run the ball on this Indiana defense. It's gonna be tough.
Right. And if they go down big, I mean, and they face a good defense in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's defense is good, but I just think the trenches for Indiana is more stout than it is for Oklahoma. So for you, if you go down big against Indiana, I don't see them coming back how they did Oklahoma. Right. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I just think Alabama has to start fast, and I want to pick them, man. I want to pick them because I think early in this year I picked them in our original bracket, but I don't know
Mhm.
because after that first game and just seeing that. you know, I don't know, cuz I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Right now, I'm leaning Indiana, but I think if Alabama can run the ball, I think they win. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence right now. I'm 50-50. I don't know
Let
yet.
me ask you this question right here then. Besides Ohio State, would you consider Oregon like a super physical team that Indiana has played?
No,
Okay, so besides Ohio State, who has Indiana played with the physicality of a potential Alabama?
Penn State. I,
Yeah.
I think
I
Penn
be
State is a
forgetting
physical
about Penn
team. I
State,
think
man. They just had to
they al-
pop.
they almost beat them this year, but I think Penn State is one of the most physical teams in the Big Ten outside of Ohio
Yeah.
State. It goes Ohio State, Penn State. I think those are two most physical teams, and Iowa. Iowa pretty physical as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Iowa's a physical team also. But those two teams right there are like the physical. They are the teams that bring the most physicality in the Big Ten. Ohio State, Penn State, then Iowa, then then the list can go on. But those two teams right there stand out for physicality. And then Indiana barely beat them this year. I think they beat them by a field goal, right? That was the highlight. They beat them 27-24 in Penn State. But yeah, Penn State is a physical team. That was the most physical team they played. And Fernando Mendoza in that game, he went 19 for 30, 218 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and they had a total of 108 rush yards in that game against Penn State. Penn State, on the other hand, they had their quarterback went 22 for 31 for 219, one touchdown and one interception, and they had 117 rush yards against Indiana. So you can see the physicality kind of match up there, and then you can see the physicality from Indiana as well. Like I said, I think Indiana that's been the coach's mindset going forward, right? How are we going to match the physicality of the Big Ten? We know the Ohio State's are physical, right? You've seen the physicality match up in the Big Ten championship, right? So I think this Ohio State team, I think this Indiana team is physical as well, but I think just the mindset and the consistency of the SEC's physicality can kind of, they haven't met that type of physicality yet. It's different, right? So I don't know, but we should see. Like I said, my deciding factor is I gotta do more research on the run game for the Crimson Tide. What are their health going to be like? Right? They got pieces back on offense. What is Ty Sips going to play like? So that's my thing, because I think this Alabama's defense is phenomenal. Right? I think it's
Yes.
going to be one of the best defenses that Indiana played this whole playoffs. Right? Unless they see us. But I'm just saying, like, this Alabama defense is good. So that's why I'm kind of 50-50 right now. I think Alabama's defense can hold them, right? Even though Alabama defense was getting torched early in the game against Oklahoma. And
Yeah.
maybe, they're a young team as well. So those jitters, that youngness kind of showed in that first half. But it started to click. So, I don't know, man. I'm on the fence right now, 50-50. But I think Indiana is the overall better team, but I'm not taking it right now. I want to take Alabama, but I don't know, cause I think I'm gonna take Indiana right now, cause I took Alabama earlier, but I got to do more research, and then Thursday I might have a little bit more, a different decision. So we both
Okay.
took Indiana, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and of course, baby, the game of the day, baby. I'm looking forward to it,
You
man.
can just go ahead and cut it down. Just go ahead and put Georgia, man. Ole
Them
Miss still a
dogs,
good
baby.
team, but this Ole Miss still a good team. But
Yeah, they are. They are.
it's just like Lane Kiffin or not, y'all had a good y'all basically sat here and just I literally just watched y'all just like the soul was just taken out of their body. Like Shang Tsung said, the soul is mine, and they just lost to the to the Bulldogs. So it's gonna be a different game, but just gonna keep that in mind. This is the most
I know
resilient team
I
in
know they ain't scoring
football.
no 35 points. I can tell you that. They ain't scoring no 35
Yeah,
points, but their
this is
defense.
Georgia is the most resilient team in college football. It's
Wow.
not over until the clock is zero. I don't
Yeah.
care if you up by 10. It's not over until the clock is zero. This is the most resilient team in football right here. I'm not even gonna throw the Lane Kiffin factor out there. I'm just saying we've seen them beat Ole Miss when they had Lane Kiffin. We've seen the comeback win when they had Lane Kiffin. No Lane Kiffin, still gonna be a good game. Georgia still wins.
And and then the thing about it, I wasn't sold on the defense. I was getting on Glenn Schumann and saying, "What are you doing with this defense? Y'all not looking good." But man, this defense has came so far. Right, we're getting a defense of old. Right, we're getting that defense of these young kids, these guys flying around. And that's the thing about it. Their defense is so young. That's what makes me so
Hmm.
excited for the future, because the oldest guys on the defense are the C.J. Allens, the Raylan Wilsons, right? The Dalen Everett. Those are the most mature guys on the defense. The defensive line, young, right? You got Elijah Griffin, the number one defensive tackle we drafted not drafted, we recruited in 2024. He a dog, right? I mean, I'm just
Hmm.
because this I'm so excited, man. This is it right here. I'm looking forward to it. So
I'm listening, cuz I just sat here and found out they going to the farm to water, and she taking Shallow to the farm. I'm saying, hell, like, hold on, fam.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute, I want to be there for this moment.
Right. No, yeah, we gonna get you there, cuz.
Oh no, you good, dog? Keep going, keep going.
Well, yeah, so we took Georgia. So our quarterfinals bracket is set. We took Ohio State, we took Texas Tech, we took Indiana, and we took the Bulldogs of Georgia. That's going to be the last game of the quarterfinals. Of course, say the best for last, 8 p.m. on ESPN Thursday night. Looking forward to it. And make sure y'all pull up here Thursday. We'll have more insight. Maybe some results have changed. Of course, not from the Bulldogs, but maybe some of our our mindsets might have changed, and we might pick different winners. But it's pretty set right now. I'm looking forward to it. Let us know who you're picking to not only win the quarterfinals, but who you're picking to win the national championship. Make sure y'all comment down below on YouTube or comment wherever you listen to the Grateful Gab podcast on. We would love to know, and we would like to get some insight to see who you think will win and why they'll win. But of course, here it's all about the dogs. Moving on to the NBA season, man, cousin, I talked about it on Thursday. Right? The Spurs, they own the OKC, Oklahoma City Thunder. That seems like the only team that's going to be a thorn in their side going into the playoffs. Because the Spurs team, man,
Oh,
we
I know,
and we
I
talked
know.
about it earlier this year, right? Wemby, potential MVP. I don't think he getting MVP this year. That boy Jokic just he did.
Yeah. It was a very nice thought, though. I still said that with my chest out.
Right.
I have no regrets, but then you see Jokic, it's like, you would think, how can someone get better?
That kid,
But
that man,
it's
he's just
just
different, bro. That guy different, man. So
first 55, 15, and 15 game on Christmas Day.
oh my goodness, this guy he just different, bro. He been having a triple double on the Timberwolves himself. Like, yeah, man, he averaged like
Yeah.
45, 11, and 13 or something like that. But just crazy work. This guy, man, different. Also, from Thursday's matchups in the NBA, we had the Knicks defeat the Cavaliers 126 to 124. We had the Spurs hand the Thunder their third straight loss against the Spurs, 117 to 102. We had the Warriors defeat the Mavericks 126 to 116. We had the Rockets defeat the Lakers 119 to 96, and we had the Nuggets defeat the Timberwolves in overtime 142 to 138. The stats were as follows for that game because that was the highest scoring matchup of the holiday games on Thursday. We had the Denver Nuggets. Again, they had 142 points. Their leading scorer was, of course, Nikola Jokic. He had 56, 16 rebounds, and 15 assists. And then the leading scorer for the Minnesota Timberwolves, of course, no other than Anthony Edwards. Shout out to the A. He had
Mhm.
44 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and he did have the game-tying three-pointer to put them into overtime. But he got ejected too. He got ejected in overtime, which I think was a big blow for them because I think they definitely would have won. But the Western Conference teams, just the Western Conference team, the competitiveness this year is on a different level. And a lot of these teams are closing the gap on OKC, right? They're not on pace to break that record anymore because they're definitely not winning 50 plus straight games. They're not doing it.
I'm still standing on what I said for about 2 months now. There will be a different champion
He
in the NBA this year.
he said it. He
Doesn't
said
take
it.
away from how good OKC is, but as you can see, they can't beat the Spurs right now.
Right.
And then, Lord knows, I feel bad for anybody that steps in Jokic's way when the playoffs start.
Oh my
'Cause
goodness.
this man.
Right.
Oh, and I'm sorry. And but I think people forget about Minnesota back to back Western Conference championships
Right.
appearances.
Appearances,
Like
right.
and this man literally just sit here and think about what can I do to add to my game. The man added a 3-point shot to the game. Now he one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. Now he said, I need a post-up game. Went out here and added a post-up game, bro. He doing Jordan, LeBron, Kobe stuff. Cause the
Right.
moment you add that post-up, oh my God.
Yeah, nah, that boy a dog, man. He got to put on for the city, man. That boy, of course, he from to them dogs, baby. Hey man, but yeah, looking forward to it and see how he continues to develop. And he's definitely putting on for the domestic players, right? The international guys that come over here and they're stars, they're studs. But he's a stud, and he got that grit in him, right? He got that old school traditional Atlanta, right, from the gutter mindset, the grind, right? And that's what he does. That's
He
what he brings
carried the
to
mentality that you want sports teams in Atlanta to carry, bro.
right,
He carried that rec ball. I'm about to F you up on the court.
right. That's what he
Boy,
do, man. So looking forward to it, man. Friday's matchups in the NBA. The Hawks, the Hawks, the Hawks. The Hawks, the Hawks, the Hawks. Let me get my button out. You know,
Boy,
you know, ever since Trae Young got back in the lineup, we haven't won a game. Right? I'm not saying
I'm
it's his fault.
sorry.
I'm
I'm
not saying
sorry. What did you just say?
ever since Trae Young has got back in the lineup, we have not won a game.
The Trae Young that's been dropping 30 pieces and
30
15
feet.
assists.
He been doing his thing, and it's like the team have been playing different when he comes here, right? Nikhil Alexander Walker, he's not being as efficient, right? I don't know if it's his confidence, what's going on. We know you know who we ain't seen, who been a ghost. Where you at? You know,
Yeah,
we know who he ain't seen.
yeah.
We might just gonna release him. I'm tired. I'm tired of even mentioning knowing that he a hawk. It pisses me off every time. You know, I think about it.
We're
So
gonna trade one injury bug for another dog. You know
no,
they
we
want AD.
man, they bet he injured again now. Like,
I
bro,
know, I
and
know,
you know, let's continue.
I know, I know.
So the Hawks have not won a game again since Trae Young has been back in the lineup. Right, lost last night, 126 to 111 against the Heat. Trae Young dropped 30. Right, Jalen Johnson was one rebound away from a triple double. He had
Again.
24. He had 24, 9, and 10. Trae Young had 30 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. Right, we're getting back to the rebound bug. We're not rebounding the ball well. Right, we got out rebound by 10 rebounds, 52 rebounds for the Heat, 42 rebounds for the Hawks. Again, those are possessions. Let's see what Dyson Daniels doing. Probably not playing good basketball. Dyson Daniel had 8 points, 36 minutes. Oh, Zachary Richardson, 20 minutes, 5 points. Why not? Of course he did. Asa Noah,
Yeah.
12 minutes, 2 points. Right. This is not it. This is not.
Well, I feel like they gave Asa Noah more minutes and he's not performing as well now. When he had getting little 5-6 minute spurts, he was out there doing things, and now they giving him some full-fledged minutes, and it's just like,
I don't know. Hornets defeated Hornets defeated the Magic 110 to 105. The Wizards defeated the Raptors 138 to 117. The Celtics defeated the Pacers 140 to 122. The Bulls defeated the 76ers 109 to 102. The Grizzlies defeated the Bucks 125 to 104. The Suns defeated the Pelicans 115 to 108. The Jazz defeated the Pistons 131 to 129, and the Clippers defeated the Trailblazers 119 to 103. For today's matchups in the NBA, kicking off at 5 p.m. on NBA TV, we got the Kings hosting the Mavericks. Later on tonight, we got the Magic hosting the Nuggets. We got the Suns going up against the Pelicans. The Heat hosting the Pacers. The Bucks going up against the Bulls. The Cavaliers going up against the Rockets. Tonight at 8 p.m. on NBA TV, we got the Knicks heading to Atlanta tonight to face the Hawks. Of course, you know, Trae Young, how he do against the Knicks. We got the Timberwolves hosting the Nets, and then we have the Jazz going up against the Spurs. For Sunday's matchups in the NBA, we have the we have the Raptors going up against the Warriors. We got the Thunder hosting the 76ers. We got the Grizzlies going up against the Wizards. The Trailblazers hosting the Celtics. The Pistons going up against the Clippers. And we have the Lakers hosting the Kings. So that wraps up basketball for this week. Make sure y'all tune in next week on Thursday Sports Huddle to get updated information on the new record for the Thunder to see if they catch any more losses or do they find a way to get back on that winning bug. We shall see. Stay tuned. Moving
hey, what
on.
you think of Cooper Flag's resurgence, dog? He's starting to show out.
Hey, dog. I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Like I said, it's between him and Con Canepa to win Rookie of the Year, but or
yeah.
even VJ Edgecombe, because it's a
Can
lot
we
of
throw in Derek Queen?
there. Look,
You
Cooper,
know,
Con, VJ, Derek. Like this is because we really missed out on some studs in this draft when we picked Asa Noel. But we
you picked the best available player.
honestly got
This
to
is
go.
sad.
Give him the boo. It's new regime for the whole city of Atlanta. Just get them
And we about to
all,
have a top 5 pick in the draft next year, and I'm scared. I'm not even hopeful.
bro. Let's keep it moving.
Man.
NCAA men's and women's top 25. So NCAA men's, of course, again, enjoy the Bulldogs are a top 25 team. Shout out to them dogs. Good looks, baby. All right, Tuesday's matchups in the NCAA. Oh, hold on. We ain't had no matchups. We only had Monday's matchups, and I covered those already. So tomorrow's. Oh, damn, we got no top 25 games to Sunday. All right. So of course it's been
That's
a
crazy.
holiday. Everybody off from school. All right. So Sunday's matchups in the NCAA men's top 25. We got number 15 Texas Tech hosting Winthrop at 2 p.m. on TNT tomorrow, and then we have number 7 Gonzaga going up against Pepperdine tomorrow at 8 p.m. on ESPN Plus. For the NCAA women's top 25, you got to show respect. NCAA
Mhm.
women's top 25. From Sunday's matchups, we got a plethora of games. Kicking off at 12 p.m. on the SEC Network, we got number 3 South Carolina hosting Providence. We got number 2 Texas hosting Southeastern Louisiana at 2 p.m. on the SEC Network. We got a top 25 ranked matchup between number 19 Ohio State and number 4 UCLA at 2 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Number 11 Kentucky hosting Hofstra. Number 24 Michigan hosting Rutgers. Number 12 Vanderbilt hosting Stonehill. Number 15 Ole Miss hosting Alcorn State. Number 1 UConn going up against Butler tomorrow at 4 p.m. on TNT. Number 5 LSU hosting Alabama State at 4 p.m. on the SEC Network tomorrow. And then we have number 14 Iowa hosting Penn State at 4 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. So not too much going on in the NCAA men's and women's top 25. Next month starts conference play, right? SEC games and all the conference games start next month. So Georgia really gonna be tested. We're gonna really see what type of team Georgia is, right? They've been spanking and whooping up on all these nobodies, right? They lost in overtime against Clemson, one game away from being undefeated. But now the real test begins. Now the real stakes say, okay, are you all deserving to be a top 25 team? And not only that, are we going to move up in the rankings? Because we're going to play a lot of ranked top 25 teams in the SEC. So what type
Yeah.
of Georgia team are we going to see going into SEC play? So looking forward to it. Looking forward to conference play all around college basketball. That's where it really gets nitty gritty. And you start to see these teams separate themselves from the best of the best and who's going to be at the bottom. So looking forward to it. Make sure y'all pull
Hey,
back up
yo,
here.
Cuzzo,
Yes, sir.
why Bryce James ain't played a game yet?
I told you they redshirted him. That's what the word is.
Oh,
They
okay. All
redshirted
right.
him. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it was a development type thing. He wanted to kind of be the man. Or eligible. I don't know, but Arizona number one team in the country. So,
Mm-hmm.
but he went to the right program, right? He went to the right program. Obviously, you see the proof is in the pudding, right? They develop they develop guy, and maybe they want him to be able to be stronger, right? Because he's not as athletic as his brother was, or as his
Mm-hmm.
brother is. So his game takes more development than the Bronny James or whatever it was. Because Bronny had that more LeBron athleticism than Bryce had. But I think Bryce still is going to be a phenomenal basketball player because kid
Yeah.
tall, physical. He got great skill. The athleticism just isn't there yet. So you really have to transition to and focus on being more athletic, especially on that collegiate D1 level, especially in those type of programs. For sure, you're in the conference. You play the Kansas. You play all these big schools consistently. So I mean, I think that's probably was a big factor in it. But I think the skill is there. I think his potential is through the roof. I just think I think that was the right move though. Honestly, right? Don't everybody path is not the same, but I think he's taking the correct path for him. So we shall
Mm-hmm.
see. Looking forward to it. All right, as we move on to National Hockey League to wrap up the sports huddle today, ladies and gentlemen. National Hockey League results from this week is as follows from Friday and Thursday's matchups. We had a few games. I don't think we had a game Thursday actually, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Get it pulled up. Oh, other news too. Coming out of college football. I know we went over this. Michigan football program has hired a new head coach. Michigan new head coach is the this gentleman name is Kyle Whittingham. Kyle Whittingham. He signed a 5-year deal to coach the Michigan Wolverines going
That's a
forward.
Utah coach, right?
He was from Utah. Yeah, he was from
Okay.
Utah. Other news that we didn't cover as well. Conk got hurt. I just
What?
saw that. Yeah, Conk got hurt. That's funny. Um, then we had not funny that he got hurt. Your reaction, it's funny. But and also Austin Reeves was injured as well. So we forgot to go over those injury reports also. And then yeah, let's see here. So National Hockey League results from this week is as follows. Again, Monday and Tuesday they had games. I already covered those on Thursdays. So for today's matchups and tomorrow matchups in the National Hockey League, we have the Islanders hosting the Rangers. We got the Bruins going up against the Sabres. We got the Maple Leafs hosting the Senators. We got the Lightning going up against the Panthers. We got the Devils hosting the Capitals. We got the Red Wings going up against the Hurricanes. We have the Winnipeg Jets hosting the Wild. We got the Predators going up against the Blues. We got the Stars hosting the Blackhawks. The Ducks are going up against the Kings. The Flames hosting the Oilers. The Sharks going up against the Canucks. And we have the Golden Knight hosting the Avalanche. And all of these games can be viewed on ESPN Plus. For Sunday's matchups in the National Hockey League, we have one primetime game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on the National Hockey League Network. The Kraken will be hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. But other than that, we have 4 matchups on ESPN Plus starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow. The Lightning hosting the Canadiens. The Islanders going up against the Blue Jackets. The Red Wings hosting the Maple Leafs, and we got the Blackhawks hosting the Penguins. So those are the matchups for this weekend's National Hockey League. The current standings for the National Hockey League overall is as follows. The top 5 teams in the National Hockey League are the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the Minnesota, I don't know who they are, Bears, maybe? Oh, no, sorry, the Minnesota Wild, the Carolina Hurricanes, and we have the Detroit Red Wings. Those are the top 5 teams right now currently in the National Hockey League. So make sure y'all stay tuned as we continue to cover the National Hockey League. Again, not next week, but the week after that, we will have Unrivaled League coverage going forward for their 3rd season. Looking forward to that. It is the 3rd season, right?
Second.
Second season. Sorry, second season. Yeah, it just feel like we've been talking about it for a couple of years now. I know we talked about the beginning of it. We covered the 1st season. They expanded. Now we're heading into the 2nd season. So yeah, we'll have Unrivaled League coming up in January. Looking forward to that. Great first year, right? Ratings out the roof. Definitely over achieved in my opinion for what they thought.
They had to put more seats in the building.
Right. I definitely think they overachieved for what they thought, the first year would do. So that's great for the Fisa Collier and Brianna Stewart as they continue to, submit themselves as successful entrepreneurs and just giving these ladies a path and a different direction to, instead of going all the way overseas to play basketball, they get to do it right here at home. So it's been a pleasure being in studio today with my cousin Papa Dennis. He got somewhere to be. Go check him out. Make sure y'all follow him, Just Uncle Rich on the podcast. I'm Grateful Dave. This is the Grateful Gab Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe if you have not subscribed already. YouTube. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Grateful Gab Podcast. Check me out wherever you get your podcast and information from. Save my cousin Papa Dennis. Make sure y'all go check him out. Instagram, Just Uncon. What is the Facebook again, cousin?
Oh, both is just uncon. So
Okay.
just unconventional on Facebook.
Yeah.
On Instagram is underscore just uncon. And then
Mm-hmm.
also for the wrestling, you can follow me. Seriously, it's just wrestling. SIJ Wrestle on Instagram, and seriously, it's just wrestling on Facebook as a whole.
Yes, sir. So make sure y'all go show us some love. Subscribe to wherever you get your podcast or platform, Just Unconventional, the Grateful Gab Podcast. Y'all be blessed. Again, I'm Grateful Dave. That's my cousin Papa Dennis. Y'all be blessed. And until next time. Peace.
Peace.